He loves him because he knows that she does. He can tell. It's not just a friendship thing between the two of them. She keeps having this urge to take care of him and to go and see him again and to make sure that he's happy without ever realizing what that means.
You need to know that I'm in love with you. And I want you to choose me instead of him.
She's keeping Jacob at arm's length.
I thought you understood.
And it's the hardest thing for her to do because she's definitely betraying true feelings for him.
Edward?
If you ever touch her against her will again!
Don't do this
She's
here.
not sure what she wants.
Don't do this
Let me
here.
give you a clue. Wait for her to say the words.
Fine. And she will.
Edward has to come to terms with Jacob and Bella's relationship quite a lot throughout the movie.
Edward would have been completely within an appropriate behavior level to say to Belle, you know, I really don't want you to spend so much time with Jacob. Not because I'm afraid for your safety, because it makes me uncomfortable.
Jacob is Bella's best friend, and he's there for comfort.
I mean, Edward's always on the back foot. He's not up to the same speed as Jacob and Bella because they're having a kind of normal, natural relationship. And he really wants to sort of be like Jacob and Bella as well, and so he wants to kind of have everything.
And it's a very hurtful thing for him, but at the same time, he knows that that's probably the right thing for her. And so he's caught between this rock and a hard place of wanting to be with Bella and wanting her to have the best life possible.
You wouldn't have to change for me, Bella. Or say goodbye to anybody. I can give you more than him.
Easy, guys, easy. Let's take it down a notch.
And so for her, it's looking at her mortal life from all the most important angles. Make her look at her family and look at what she was going to lose and look at Jacob, and he was the embodiment of a human life.
That should have been our first kiss.
And that for me was the most heartbreaking part of the book, knowing at the time she's gonna have to give it up. I was sobbing when I wrote it, as knowing that she was giving it up.
August 13th.
Yeah. It's a month before my birthday.
She's able to, by the end of it at least, admit to herself that she loves Jacob, but is making a decision for her life, which will ultimately benefit her.
Even the right choices have consequences, and not making a choice has a consequence. And that's, for me, one of the biggest things about growing up. And Bella has to become a grown-up and start dealing with the consequences of her actions.
Chosen my life. I'm gonna start living it.
That's something that I love about the series, and that's something that I believe in. I think you have to do what is good for you, and that's really hard. You can't make decisions to please everybody.
She has to face the fact that she has broken Jacob's heart, and she knows that she's hurt herself too by allowing them to be more involved. If she'd realized that Jacob was more than just a friend to her, she would have had to cut that relationship off earlier and save both of them some pain.
Hi, I'm Jacob. We used to make mud pies when we were little.
Right, no, I remember.
It's funny because I get asked a lot about how, you know, Jacob responded to this or that, and he really wouldn't have done anything differently. If he knew the ending, he still wouldn't have been Jacob if he didn't try, if he didn't put his whole heart into trying to do what he thought was right. You know, and so he did.
I didn't have quite the same upbringing as my adopted siblings.
Well, Eclipse was a great chance for me to finally get to tell about some of the other members of the Collins clan.
Jasper's backstory, which has a lot of gnarly bits to it.
You could make an entire movie out of just Jasper's story, so it was quite the challenging exercise to take it down to just the couple scenes that I had.